And we should be live.
Shit.
Oh, I gotta fix that title screen. So it says 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m. I'll get it right eventually. It said the wrong time. It said the wrong time.
You had one job.
Yeah, well, I can't fix that one. That is not my job. Let me get the tweet out.
You'll post it in the
So we still have 4 minutes. We gotta use the restroom and thing real quick. Go ahead.
I use the restroom and you go fix myself.
Let me see. Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star Citizen with members of the community. Today is June 2nd, 2022, at least in North and South America. Today I'm joined by my co-host. This is not Griffin Gaming RPG. This is GoMap. Oh, I forgot to change your name.
That's it. I quit.
Get to that
I'm out.
How are you doing, GoMap?
One job. One other job.
I had 20 different jobs today, okay? I think I'm doing pretty well, but how are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, and if I did, who gonna listen to me?
I'll listen for a little while. How was your week?
It's been a week of Mondays, man.
Oh,
Every day
really?
just feels like another
Not
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But, we're getting through it. So today is hopefully the second to last Monday of the week.
second to last Monday. Okay.
Yeah, we're rounding out. This is the last month of my job's Q4, so our fiscal ends in the end of June. So it's always drinking from the fire hose. Cheers.
There you go back. GoMap, capital ATL. Okay, that should be fixed. It won't
Yes,
be
nice
fixed
to
on the
meet you. I
other-
know we haven't met before.
Yeah, right. No, I was just making sure we got it right. Because for the longest time, Griffin had my name wrong. It had to capitalize FC. I never go by capitalization because in EVE Online, FC is known as Fleet Commander. So in order to difference between me and the Fleet Commander, I became lowercase and the Fleet Commander was uppercase. So that's why I'm always lowercase.
Yeah.
A little history behind my name.
Interesting lore behind Fast Card FC. Folks, remember that stuff because it'll be like in a trivia question in a bar
Yeah, it probably will
citizen
be eventually.
when we give
because
away one of Griffin Gaming's 890 jumps. If you don't get that question right, you won't have a chance of winning. You heard it here, folks. Since he's not here, I'm going to call it on the stream.
You know what? People will probably ask for that in the next bar citizen. Hey, I'm here for the 890 jump that GoMap promised me. You promised. After all,
it wasn't GoMap.
No
I
roadmap.
said it. Oh, you should change my name back under there so it just says Griffin.
No,
yeah.
for me, my AC still working. It's still cool in my apartment. There's a real quick with the AC. The terminal thermometer is like 10 to 15 degrees lower than what it is inside my apartment. I think it's reading temperature from the outside, or partially, or some combination between the two. So that's quick. I got to get around. I got to set the AC to 64 degrees to get it 77 degrees in my apartment. Oh well.
Oh wow.
But
didn't you just get a new AC?
Yeah, I just got it last week.
Oh.
But that's a quirk. I'm not going to return it. If that's all that's wrong with it, I can live with it.
I can dig it.
But yeah, I did finish watching Moon Knight, and I'm going to start Obi-Wan soon.
You watching Star Trek?
No, I gotta get in. I gotta resubscribe to Paramount Plus. I'll probably do that this week too.
Fast Card.
So many streaming services, man. Too many to keep track of.
Fast Card.
Oh,
you don't.
Okay. All right. I see you. I hear you. Well, how about you? What have you been watching this week?
The back of my eyelids when I can't. No. What have I watched this week? I haven't really watched too much of anything. I caught up on Fear the Walking Dead. Caught up on Barry. If you haven't watched that, it is disturbingly hilarious, and I love it.
Hey?
Such a good show. But yeah, I gotta catch the Star Trek. Yeah, I gotta catch the Star Trek show, and I did watch the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. I need to rewatch them because I was doing other stuff, and so I think I missed some stuff. So yeah, and Stranger Things is back, so I'm excited about that. Thanks, Dark Knight.
I never started Stranger Things. I hear it's creepy and weird, and that's not my kind of thing. It's like I have a hard enough time watching Jordan Peele.
It's really well done. It's really good.
That's what I hear. And this is the final season I hear. The other thing is, oh yeah, the Netflix Marvel streaming series are on Disney Plus now, so they're all in one place. I might go back and try to finish Luke Cage. I know, I won't get the full violence. Well, no, I'm an adult. I have that setting turned off, so I should be able to watch it from the original standpoint.
I hope they don't water it down. You know, they keep it all.
I do. I mean, they have two different titles, one for kids and one for adults.
Yeah. Well, my Disney Plus on the TVs in our house, we have a pin on it so that the kids can't just go into my account, and so everything else is like age limited. So me and my wife's accounts are locked, and the kids can go watch all the Moana they want, but they can't go in there and watch any other stuff. So,
okay,
yeah.
All right, so we got plenty of people waiting in queue. Let me do my thing, and you have permission to drag people down. I hope so. Let me do my thing and see if people can guess where it's from. Ready?
Never ready, but I guess it's inevitable. So proceed.
It's not a song, so I'm not asking whether or not you ate or drinking or anything like that. So there's that.
Okay.
During the mid-2130s, the U.S. Navy established a program to test the Zeus prototype. The top 1% of its pilots participated. Before that, its purpose was to teach the lost art of combat and to ensure a handful of men and women who graduated were the best pilots in the verse. They succeeded. Today, the Navy called it Seleno Squadron. The flyers called it the 999 Test Squadron. Let me drag people down. You have any clues where that's from?
To the danger zone.
There you go. You got it in one. The Griffin normally tries to make me ask me to do it, keep it within 20 years, but I figured that one is such a classic, anyone would get that one. Scott, Kai got it too. And welcome everyone. We got Admiral Kusanagi, Fish Space, Kalwadi, and Parton Space. Well, New Soul has a new name. They're Hans and Fawn now. I'm going to call them Hans.
Here you go.
We're here to pump.
There you go. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Kai, for that one. Appreciate it.
Yes. That was my first guess, considering Top Gun just came out. But I was like, "Is it going to be that easy?" Okay, so thanks, Kai.
When you say the top 1%,
the sequel just came out, so I try to be current when I do these things. So yeah, it's that easy.
Awesome.
And we also have to give a congratulations to Kalradi. He's a daddy now.
Oh my God.
a puppy daddy or a real daddy?
Puppy daddy.
What happened?
Hey man, in some areas of the world that can take a whole different connotation.
Yeah, right.
Let's
add this. What are you a daddy of?
Well, I can go in another conversation as Gomap just mentioned. So.
All right. All right.
So we're gonna move on and go to the sneak peek.
Pulling that gold shirt back out.
Gold Citizen After Dark.
So the sneak peek today has the subtitle of "Sins are the cargo of my ship." I looked it up on Google. I could not find a lyric to that. So I don't know if it's from a lyric or something like some kind of poem or something. So does anyone have a clue where "Sins of the cargo of my ship" is from?
Are in the cargo of my ship.
Okay, it's in Hurston. I could tell you that.
Oh, because he's got it on the yellow.
No, that's orange. That's orange.
No, but I'm just looking at the elevators. You look at the elevators. That looks like Hurston.
And it does say HD on there on the actual thing.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
It looks like it's to me, I think it'd be like one of the 32 SCU boxes that either go on like the raft or maybe the bigger ones that go onto the or is it 32 the big ones? One of the big SCU boxes that go onto like the raft or the
or maybe the Aurora.
The Hull A. The Aurora ain't getting no love for a long time.
The size is right there. It tells you the kilograms and all that stuff on the front of it.
So this is referring to cargo.
Do we know how to read it?
Refractor.
I don't know how to read that. Yeah, it's cargo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to the different team real quick so you can get a close.
30,000 kilograms.
Do we know how much an SCU is? Like what? How much does an SCU hold?
It's less than a meter. I want to say 0.75 meters or something like that. 0.8 meters. I forget.
Yep, there it says Hurston Dynamics. So let's say it's a big box for cargo.
What is?
So yeah,
What does that say on there?
What?
Does that say CUM? 10 CUM or?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's what it says. And it says FT, so cubic feet too. Cubic meters.
I'm just trying to understand what is the CUM. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying. I'm trying to understand what does the CUM stand for.
It's gonna be cubic meters.
Okay.
And
or they're just talking about ejaculate, so I just can't tell what they're talking about there.
Okay. See, you went there. You went there.
This is like, why don't want to make this weird or anything?
Said the quiet part out loud. Yeah, you don't have to say the quiet part loud.
Yeah. See, I tried not to go there.
My guess is this is for the cargo refactoring.
Okay.
Like Black Sky Legion says it all first. It's pretty good.
So yeah, anyone looking forward to the cargo refactor when it starts?
Oh yeah,
Dark Knight, I didn't do anything. Dark Knight, I didn't do anything. Go ahead. Anyone looking forward to it?
absolutely.
Most definitely. Looking forward to stealing some cargo.
Now I'm wondering, will it be for the because to get what is it? The Katak railing has those triangular ones. I'm wondering if they're gonna have those at the same time or probably come later.
Well, the Katak ain't even gonna be out when it comes out. So
that's
I'm gonna say,
we have Alien. We come out. Maybe it's a surprise, but I don't think so.
And maybe.
Look on the progress tracker. See how far the Katak railing is. Probably not far. That's my guess.
Probably.
All right. So after that, we have last week's Star Citizen Live, Invictus All-Sip Q&A. I have a whole bunch of stuff to read from that. Because thanks to Kubaka and the Nubifier, they basically encapsulated all of the entire show. So we were introduced by John and Rich. Talking about physicalized damage, medium and heavy fighter balance, tractor beam, slowing down combat speed, ship and vehicle stealth, shield types, spawning snub fighters and vehicles from your ship, ballistic ammo capacity. I mean, it's going to be a while. How will escape pod be launched? VTOL doesn't always make sense when flying upside down. Better or more useful lights. Plan to reintroduce cannons into combat. Why does every ship get nerfed outside the Gladys and Arrow? That's the talk about the Ion there. Racing, the store box for the Aurora. Fixing snubs, losing the ship market after they go far from the parent ship. Player facing ship modularity. Will there be ground refuel vehicles? Boats. They said no to that, at least for now. Polaris, 600i, Retaliator, and Starfield Gold Standard. The age is broken and the Constellation is getting more stretched. The last one is just a joke. They're talking about the Constellation Gold Standard. And why did some ships get prioritized over the others? They had a whole slew of answers for that one. And what's the one ship you haven't added in SC that's still on your wish list? I'm going to put all that into streaming alert so people can take a look. And when people could take one thing that they if you watched it, what you thought about it. So there it is in streaming alert. So yeah, anyone get a chance to watch it?
I watched it.
Yeah, I watched.
What was your takeaway? What was your favorite part?
I don't know.
Different thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay to hear about it, but it's kind of boring.
Well, this was all pre-recorded too. It wasn't live, so they have that,
the not so live
entertainment thing. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, I'm just really looking forward to all of these answers coming into the game eventually, because that's just something, especially the physicalized damage. I mean, I won't say, all of the information we knew about, but some, we kind of already had an idea, I guess. But I think like physicalized damage, I'm just looking forward to seeing it in the game eventually. I'm glad to hear that it's making progress, but I'm just looking forward to it, coming into the game eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone wants to come in, click the link I just posted and join the fly. Kai, you're welcome to come in and tell us why the slowing down comment was a big item for you. So come on in and tell us why. But yeah, that seems to be a big item for everyone. Just slowing down the combat. I mean, I can explain why they want to and what the purpose is and all that, but people seem to be having. I mean, once they do it, people get used to it. It'll be whatever, and that's my guess. But for now, people are like, it's a change.
In some way, I think it could work, because I remember when playing Freelancer, right? There was a limit. There was a hard limit between regular flight speed and cruise speed, right? Similar to how you have the hard limit between your flight speed in Star Citizen and Quantum, right? You have to literally charge up or something like that. So, I mean, there are ways I think that they can tackle it, certain caveats that, who knows if they've tried implementing a hard limit within QA to see, between SCM speed and everything above it in, the second stage afterburner speeds. I don't know if they've tried it setting a hard limit to see how that speed is, because, fighting at up to 250 meters per second, I don't see that as a bad thing at all. Most of us, when PvPing, unless you're flying relative to the other person or to many people going much higher than that, at least personally speaking, most of the time, especially when flying in atmosphere, you would normally fly slower than 250 meters per second, right? So the issue is when things get really heated, then you tend to find sometimes yourself going above that SCM speed, and I think that's one of the things that they're trying to address. I'm guessing without setting a hard limit, but I'm only curious because I know before they did implement not super cruise, sorry, but second stage afterburner. That's when they first called it, and when you went above the SCM, it would be hard to turn and everything like that. But I'm just curious to know if they've thought about setting a hard limit between SCM and anything above that. So,
do you think this makes it hotter? Like, do you think it makes it easier to stay out of combat? Like, if the other ship doesn't want to get into combat and they could just go fast, the other person can't do anything about it.
Right. And that's one thing I think, many persons have their different ideas when it comes to Freelancer, but that's one thing I really applauded Freelancer with regards to setting a hard limit between the regular flight speed and their version of cruise speed. Because with that hard limit, where you literally had to charge up your engine to go into cruise mode, you literally couldn't you had to literally fly at regular speed while charging before entering cruise mode, and that left you vulnerable to getting hit by cruise disruptors. If someone had a cruise disruptor, you could not enter that cruise mode. It would be similar to if Star Citizen had a hard limit between the SCM and afterburner stages, where someone had an equivalent cruise speed disruptor in Star Citizen. So I would think that if they did, or if they implemented a hard limit, I think it would make it difficult for somebody to enter, because you'd have to kind of fly at regular speed and charge, enter, and then who knows what caveats and consequences someone else may have to stopping you from doing that. So that's my whole take. The possibility of having a hard limit between the SCM and the afterburner, which I don't think is much of an issue, because let's go back into atmosphere. At least in the 1G atmosphere, we normally don't really fly that much faster than the SCM speeds, especially when PvPing.
So would you say it's a lot easier than for a PvE person to be able to do transport and stuff like that?
Yes and no, because it also depends on, let's say, for example, in a very calm environment, it's easier. Well, no, it's not easier, especially anything with a hard limit, I would say, is never easier than having a fluid transition like we have now. So it depends on the activity where that person is flying. If there are NPCs that that also have the ability to stop that person from entering cruise mode, then that will also make it difficult for a PvE player if there's a hard limit. But if there isn't and it's a fluid transition, that would be the easier one, like we have now.
Okay. Well, before we move on, I just want to say that Robert Bowes answered Optim's question comment. He said the Q&A for the Railin said the boxes are triangular for the aesthetics, but will hold standard cargo boxes. So,
okay.
That makes no sense to me. You're losing up a lot of space. I mean, there's a lot of there's a void in there. You know, if you put a square into a giant triangle, so it's just odd.
You know, like I said, it was very aesthetic. It looked cool in the concept art.
Maybe they'll let you put like additional, like kind of different sized items in there, like just things that would fit in that space that would be unusual, like long poles or something like that. That type of. It feels like you would have to be able to put something in there, like maybe like stolen goods, or that's where you could hide stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I was also thinking kind of on that lines, Admiral. To specialized.
And Kai said, "Oh, go ahead, Pops."
No, I was just saying I thought it would be, along the lines of Admiral, kind of a specialized cargo for that ship carry.
Okay. And Kai said ED cheated, basically trying to recreate World War II era dogfighting, and he said that they're making it more fun, less realistic, and you think that's a brilliant modification for CRG part. And yeah, I think that's a general opinion. It's just that people don't like change, so they're always, people complaining about, oh, I don't like this, it's different, I gotta relearn how to fly again, but this is alpha, so they're gonna be continuing to change the flight mechanics, the flight simulation, for well into the game after the game goes live, so they'll still be messing with it even after launch. So that's what happens in MMO. The meta and flight mechanics and stuff get changed over time.
Real quick, hot take: flight combat does not need to be slowed down. Only bad pilots who don't know how to control their speed in combat and will ultimately be destroyed by good pilots need to put these training wheels on that force them to slow down to fight. It is a skill issue. Period. Full stop. It is a.
So in other words, go map, get good.
If you want to, if you're fighting and you're coming in too fast, you're going to get a few new holes. That's it. If you go against a good pilot that knows how to control their speed and they say, oh, he's coming in hot, let me go ahead and pre-nose. As soon as you blow by me, I'm on your tail and I'm just lighting you up. I know I could delta merge with you. I could pre-turn. There's all kinds of things you could do as a good pilot to counter that. If you get two good pilots, then you have other control that you have to implement, right? Don't go straight. Don't be flat. Always be moving in a diagonal, so on and so forth. It's a skill issue, not something that they have to tune out.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, normally I don't do this, but just for this once, I'm going to scroll down to get to the timestamp of when they talk about slowing down speed to get the exact word. So give me a moment while I scroll down and unmute this thing.
From if one of you spawns at my.
All right, so combat speed. There it is. 11.
Why are we trying to move the speeds down? It seems counterintuitive to something on the outside. Don't we want things to be faster and more intense? In the words of George Lucas.
Yes, so it basically works up to a certain point. So in combat, there's a thing we call combat geometry, and it's how ships interact with each other. It's basically how ships interact, and at a certain speed, this falls apart, and it becomes basically a nose-on-nose fight. As you go towards each other, you just fly by each other.
Jousting.
And then jousting. Then basically, by the time you've looked around, you're 2 or 3 kilometers away from each other again, and it's repeat. So what we want to do is we want to bring that combat closer.
Pause that fast card.
You have to slow things.
Yep.
So what he just told me is he's a shit dogfighter and doesn't know what combat is like in this game. Because he just said, "Oh yeah, combat, you just blow by each other in 2-3 kilometers away." No,
I think it's just an example. Are you just going to an example?
So what they're doing is they're laying out a problem. Oh, this is how combat is, right? And so we have to fix that. But that's not how combat is. That's only combat against. I mean, it's like you ever seen people that don't know how to fight and they come in swinging their arms all wild.
They just had Invictus week and they had thousands of new players come in who don't know how to fight in Star Citizen because they're not used to.
I think
doing it. Go ahead.
I think to Go-Map's point is what he's saying is like this, and I get what his reference is going. It's like, okay, how many people know how to actually throw hands? Who are technically trained fighters, right, in the world, versus how many people, go toe to toe with somebody fighting and they come in and swinging their hands, flailing, and all that stuff. So basically, there's a certain percentage, like a low percentage of people who actually know how to fight in this game, versus the other population. So they're basing it based upon the other population, the larger population who doesn't know how to fight. And I get that point, that realistically they should take those players, if they're basing their data off of that, I don't believe that they should do that then. You see what I'm saying? Because if the mechanics are there where a skilled pilot, knows what they're doing, then the players should learn from them. There's got to be some reward to putting in the time to learn the skill. It just shouldn't be okay. What it then becomes is a DPS versus shield race, right? You don't get a benefit to knowing how to fly evasively. You don't get the benefit of knowing when to disengage to get your shields back before you re-engage. You don't get the benefits of being a better fighter pilot if all they do is slow it down so that everybody is fighting face to face now. If you want to come in with me and you're full throttle the whole time, I am going to chew you to bits.
And
I'm a better pilot.
And when they see that, they probably change flight model again to make it different. I mean, this is not the last time they're gonna change it. So,
well, they changed it before. Yeah,
but I think to what Gomez's point is that don't change it based upon the data of these said players over here. That's what you're seeing. That players are basing their combat based upon jousting. Jousting is not the correct way of combat, from what I'm understanding. That is not the correct way of combat. And if you're basing, data based upon that, and you're changing the mechanics of the game based upon that, then that is wrong to change by. You know what I mean? To make your basis off of.
Yeah. So and when Jared asked why, he says, because combat is like this. People just fly by each other and then you're 2 to 3 kilometers away. That's no fun. We need to slow it down. That to me is like, whoa. Somebody get this guy off the keyboard because he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about combat in this game that he's working on. That's scary.
So, to everyone's point, actually, I would like to hope that even though he gave that example, because I usually fight in atmosphere more than I do in space. And that is a good example of slowed combat in terms of maneuverability and having and needing to dodge and think about your actions more compared to in vacuum. Because when you're in atmosphere, especially 1G atmosphere, you have to, do a lot more, at least personally speaking, to evade those attacks. When you're, for example, in a fighter and you're going up against 3 other fighters, and this is AI, it's a lot harder to dodge those attacks as opposed to flying at a faster speed in vacuum. So I think even though he gave that example of jousting, I would like to think, could be wrong, but I would like to think that I think also to what Kai said earlier in the chat, that the other reason why they may want to slow combat down is also to give a negative consequence to the person who isn't prepared when jumping into a fight that they have no experience with, so that it's harder to escape it. Because I found myself, I was a bit overconfident, right? I was going in with my Aurora on Daymar, and it was against two Cutlass NPC ships and some other ship I can't remember. And I was
I think I'm gonna stop you there because we spent like 30 minutes on.
We spent some time on it. Yeah.
So I think this might be a good topic to cover on like a normal socialism show on Sunday. So maybe I'll bring that up with Griffin. But that was a good topic. So thanks everybody. All right. So next up we have the PU monthly report. Gomad, did you get a chance to go through this and pick out some of this?
Yeah. So of course, PU monthly report. They start with AI. This week this month they're doing a lot of good work on trying to make the AI movements less herky jerky and more natural looking. Of course, they've been focusing a lot of work on AI ship piloting. We saw a little bit of that last week with the ships, AI being able to land, which I think is going to add a huge layer to land-based combat. Yeah. No. Gotta take a shot.
Yeah.
You said it. All right. They of course they updated some vehicle features. They've been doing a lot of focus on damage state on the ships, right? Physicalized damage, and so we know that's going to be huge when it comes in. Physicalized damage, which will come along with physicalized components, which will bring around different properties and bring around like armor, and so it'll kind of give you a little bit more variety in the game. Right now, everything's all about shields and hull HP versus the damage that a weapon can do to you. So, as that goes on, as they bring in these features, you'll see a little bit more nuance as to what ships you bring to what situation. They worked on some facial animations for some emotes. So you folks that like staring at yourself and doing /emote 3, emote 5, whatever, you should be happy.
I can't help that I look better in the game than I do in real life. Click on map.
Yeah, well, that's real life, brother. Real life. So real cool. They said there's another unannounced ground vehicle progressing into final art and design. I was like, is that the Mule? No.
I think it's been announced now. It was then unannounced for May, but it was announced to the Mule, I think.
So this what day did this come out?
It came out.
What is it?
Oh, it just says it just says PU monthly report. So it came out this week.
They're not talking about the Mule.
Yeah, they can't be talking about the Mule.
I'm just talking about. They're talking about final art being done. This thing is already in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this maybe this is the flatbed.
Hey.
Wait a minute, man. We need the ammo carrier. Yeah, we need the ammo carrier for jump down, stuff like that.
Physicalize the ammo in boxes, and let me put it on the flatbed.
Mm-hmm.
We're good.
The one thing I noticed.
Go ahead.
The one thing I noticed that you can now move while you're quantuming up, so you're not a sitting duck. Because if you're that kind of person that likes to get out of trouble, by quantuming, you don't have sit there and wait. You can move. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like in terms of what? You can move up when you're quantuming. Scroll back up. FC.
I think that was on the AI tech. I think he was referring to.
AI tech.
Or
that one?
Can't remember which one.
A little bit further.
Vehicle features.
It might have been it.
That
Yeah,
one?
I think it was vehicle features. Vehicle features. I think it's in the first few lines.
So the AI vehicle features team completed a fleet AI tool which enables developers to control and set up specific AI scenarios across the various ships. The currently porting to new drive attack maneuver to combat pilot to the combat pilot AI, which allows reckless and aggressive pilots fighting against capital ships to dynamically choose its maneuver when required.
Okay, that's not. Then it's further up. Then
that sounds like dive bombing.
Yeah,
right. Kamikaze.
Yeah, the other part is further up. Then
it's on AI tech on the first line, I think.
AI tech.
Yeah,
quantum travel and quantum boost. Now ships can accelerate while spooling before the actual jump. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm usually going full speed while I'm quantum.
Yeah, normally I am too. But maybe the difference is when you do it now, you don't crash to the planet when you come out of quantum.
So remember, this is AI. So I think what happened is that the AI probably stopped at a halt before doing it. So they're probably able to,
yeah, that's probably AI. Yeah. So
the quantum boost thing, though, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all this stuff is AI stuff, so it's not necessarily, ship feature team stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not for us to really use. It's for the AI to seem more like us, so that because CR said plenty of times that he wants people to not know if that character walking around is controlled by a person or if it's an AI. Right. They want that ship that's flying around. Is that a person or is it an AI? Who knows? Right? So all this stuff is just meant to make them behave more naturally as opposed to the more, computers.
And we got other stuff in here too, like the animation, just facial animation, finish off performance.
Yeah, like I said, there's the art, so art characters, they put together some outfits for Pyro. Yeah. Let's see. Like I said, okay, so we're at the unannounced ground vehicle. Flatbed, Gib, please. That other ship we don't really care about. Argo SRV.
Go back and read that, sir.
The brand new merchantman has gone back into white box. It'll be another 3 years. No, the brand new merchantman.
It's card.
Yeah, it's moving through gray box. So they're focused on ship's exterior art. So it's getting a lot closer. They're working on the underside. So I wonder if they're going to, like almost every other ship, the underside is just like flat with panels. I wonder if they're going to do bring any of the art down there, or they're just going to make it flat. We'll see. Argo SRV, the tugboat, Pops.
Yep.
Your tow truck. It's coming. So it's on the line.
Well, it don't have that feature of being able to hook and book somebody.
I don't think you
you can't repo them by let me run into Port Olisar real quick to grab some ammo. Hey, come back here with my nomad.
That's what I'm saying. Let me run your tags real quick. Run through Port Olisar, running people's tags, and seeing if they don't, if you don't pay that note.
Nevertheless, you can still, you and a couple guys can get really rich helping Griffin Gaming get his 890 jump out of Forest in orbit.
There you go.
Hook up to him and pull him out.
Let's continue on because we still got quite a bit of a show to get through.
Yeah, and then a bunch of other stuff. I recommend everybody print out the PU report and put it on the sink next to your toilet and read it during your morning constitution.
No, what I recommend go map other idea, copy and paste it into a Word document and let the AI or the computer read it to you while you're doing stuff.
Okay. All right.
I like mine better.
Of course,
vote in chat. Who do you like better, mine or?
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of stuff like features, vehicles, arena commander, weapons,
new arena kind of stuff. You know, a lot of new vehicle features. Bottom line, they've been working hard and doing stuff. So for all those haters out there that said, they're not doing, shut up. Read the report.
Oh, one thing I did notice there, people talk about the lighting
Gen
for
12.
317.1. So yeah, they're doing some lighting stuff.
Yeah, they're working on the lighting for the Siege of Orison. They're tweaking that up a little bit. So hopefully that'll be released here soon, man. That's going to be an awesome time sink because people are going to spend a lot of time up there. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Do that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Gen 12, man. Gen 12 is big focus. Gen 12 is a big focus. Vulcan, the renderer. We kind of have an understanding of what they've been working on. So this is just a progress update as to stuff. And did anybody else read this all the way through and have any and any parts that really stuck out to them? Things that they were like, yes. Persistence.
Yeah. They did mention it a few times with the UI and those things. So I guess everybody's looking forward to that. So it's nice to see that they're continuously mentioning that.
Oh, and they're going to have a 600i and a MSR derelict.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. We're looking forward to seeing that. So
can I pinch my tit next to the origin, the broken origin?
Yeah, that won't be the gold standard. That'll be the rush standard instead of the gold standard.
Well, it's gonna be interesting with the new hacking mechanic. They're talking about information being on doors now, to tell you if it can be hacked or not, and like the percentage of its current state, I guess, to see if it's like it's damaged or not. So, some interesting with the scanning mechanic is coming along.
Okay. All right. So up next we have the Great Mule. The new LTI token.
No, it is a fantastic little vehicle, and I love it. I did use one for LTI token. The one that I kept, I love it.
Yeah, I bought 3. One of them became my second endeavor. LTI endeavor.
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to is I'm sorry, go ahead, Fast. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you, anyone else get one? Go ahead, Pops.
Well, yeah, I got one. And I'm just seeing this in the Daymar rally, the Mule run.
Oh man, that'll take like 9 hours?
I'm quite sure they will figure out a short route, from like maybe from the mining to Eager Flats.
How fast does it go?
Just that leg of the run.
Pretty quick.
It's for its size. Yeah, it's pretty quick.
I can't.
Don't let it fool you.
I can't.
Don't let it fool you.
How fast it moves to some of the other land vehicles, but
yeah, it's not fast, but it ain't slow. It's quick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
probably a better word. Yeah. And I really
that's cool.
love the way it turns. That turn on a dime.
Turn on a dime, yeah.
It just spins around. That is cool.
It turned better than my wheelchair.
I mean, the fact that I can pull into the MSR and turn it around inside the MSR.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, that's good.
You know what?
In there.
Yeah.
So Pops, you were calling this Mater, right? Last time.
Yeah, Mater.
But you know what? From the same series of cars, you remember, I think there was Cars 3 where they had the Italian forklifts. The
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminded me better.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there you go.
Better. Yeah, I just remember that one. Yeah.
You have to put some white wall tires in that thing then.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah. But that turnaround is so satisfying. Best turn ever.
So here it is. Here's the technical spec. You got it's 4.2 meters length, 2.7 meters in height, 3 meters in width. So, excuse me, it's pretty small. And 6x hand boxes for small storage, 1 SCU crate, and 1 SCU storage for the forklift and the rear. And it comes in 3 paints, I believe. Yeah.
Now, has anybody tried to buy an SCU of cargo and put on there?
I think I saw someone do it, but it appears at the back. So that section there that supports 1 SCU, I think I think I recall someone doing it, and it appeared, that box appeared in the back. So I think that part works.
I wonder if it'll show, if you get 2, it'll show up in the front. Curious.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see. It in the front and how high it will lift it up.
Robert Vose said yes, it does appear in the rear.
Okay. Thank you.
And Jet Helen said it'll take about 7.5 hours to do the Daemon rally.
Do we expect anything like, okay, so Fast Car, that picture behind you, and you had it up on the screen a second ago. Do we expect, like, I guess, some cargo runs to look like that? Or do we just expect, like, the, everything to be fully loaded up to the brim, and then have, like, big, other large, I guess, systems unloading this thing? Or is this kind of like what they're envisioning it to be? I kind of envision it to be like completely. This looks like it's going to slow down everything a little bit. This looks a little slower because the guy's got like the jack over there. He's got the push cart. He's moving things to the side to drop them down to the ground level.
Well, it'll slow down everything compared to the hand wavium shit just appears in your cargo bay now. But what it will do in the future, when they say, look, no, your stuff is going, you buy your stuff at a outpost, and then it spawns somewhere, you got to go get it. Yeah. So with this, you have a choice. Either you pull out your tractor beam and do them one at a time while walking, or you drive this and go grab potentially 2 at a time while driving, and you drop them off on the lift or on the deck. You still have to use your tractor beams to move them up, because they said in the discussion it won't stack them, right? So you'll drop them at the ship, and then you'll stack them manually. But I think once it becomes a manual effort to load cargo altogether, this is what you'll see. You'll see these here coming, dropping a box, going back and getting them, and it will speed it up versus walking with a tractor beam.
I wonder. Good. Well, I was just gonna say, I wonder, like, if they're gonna have like, handheld jacks here, or forklifts, or whatever you want to call those things.
Pallet jacks.
Yeah, pallet jack. I have to wonder if they don't have them on that I've noticed on the top of the Caterpillar in the interior, but you would imagine there'd be some type of pulley system that I could physically attach to a box to stack it, if that's kind of the thing, or if they're just going to let us do the tractor beam inside the ship.
Well, they said tractor beam right now.
Yeah. And speaking of questions, let's go to the Q&A while we're thinking about questions. So you talk about I think they mentioned tractor beams in here, or no? Was that in the Okay, they're here, guys. Can the 6 mission boxes be loaded manually, or is it all railing so high that they have to be placed with a tractor beam? Your players can place them from the ground. Currently, they can only be loaded manually by hand. In the future, you can tractor beam will be able to snap them into place.
So those are the hand placeable racks on the side where they have the 6 little boxes up there. So they were asking, will I be able to put it up there, or will I have to, get up there? They said, yes, you can reach them. And I've done it. You just have the box in your hand and it placed, and you place it in there. And say in the future, you'll be able to take like a tractor beam and put it in there. And once it gets close, it'll snap into place, which I think is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. I was going to say, hi, everybody. GoMap kind of went down the road that I was going to go down. Jared said something on last Friday's SCL. He said, distinguishing the game that we're playing now versus the game that is intended to be played later. So, we have to look at, there are certain mechanics that I think all of us are observing that CIG is focusing on with the cargo refactor coming in 3.18. One of them is, as was announced, the SRV, which is cargo, the Mule, which is cargo, and then they've talked about the next upgrade tractor beam, the rifle-sized one, which is coming up as well.
Oh, didn't know
And
about
so Gomab mentioned it. He said that, right now this is the way it is, but ultimately this is going to be manual labor. And so that's why you will have people that you hire, whether they be NPCs or your people in your org or whoever, that are going to start moving these items around. Now, to your point, Admiral, you asked about whether there'll be things like a pulley or winch system. We have seen that in the cargo decks that they have it. We also see it inside of ships like the Banu Merchantman that do have a manual tracking system above them to move larger 32, maybe 16 SCU cargoes. But these 1 SCU cargoes, these 2 are definitely going to be for vehicles like this, the SRV, and that's how we're going to move stuff. Think about what we do now is testing, but it is not the game. A 1 SCU cargo could be worth 50,000. Right now, it's not. We don't know what the economy is going to dictate. A lot of times we're thinking about these bigger containers. Not to mention, think about how many outposts you go to and these containers are sitting outside. They're not just sitting there for decoration. As Gomab said earlier, when you order stuff, you may have to go out there and pull those containers and move them because things are going to become physicalized. So this thing of stuff popping into your ship is going to go away. just it's going to go away. So all these they're giving you different tools to handle different jobs ultimately.
And
game's going to slow down even more.
I was gonna say, the game is gonna slow down a lot. I mean, you look at the picture that
What do you say slow down? Why do you say it's going to slow down?
Well, okay. The example is what you just said. Things are just not going to pop into your caterpillar.
Right.
You take that time and hire people to move it in there, which is more time. So it's going to be. That's what I mean by slowing down.
It's not going to be instantaneous, but it's going to become more realistic.
Exactly.
Maybe that's a different way of looking at it, because when you say slowing it down, my thing is that for those of us who've always known that that's the way it's going to be, it ain't slowing it down. It's just finally going to be what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you go, so my point is, if you're going somewhere and you know that you're doing full hauls, well, you can go by yourself, or you can bring 4 of your people with you, which speeds up your process by 4, or makes it be a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. Yeah, the process is going to take a little bit more time. But again, this forces us to think about what we're moving, because we're so used to maxing out a ship. You see what I'm saying? Like a C2. The reality is that that's what we're doing right now because we're testing. You may not need to max out a C2, because a C2 is designed really for vehicular use and cargo use. When they gave the demonstration in the trailer, they were moving vehicles and supplies. We do all supplies because we're being greedy, because we want to get the most money out of it. You see what I'm saying? But when it's time to play, you may not be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or when you do, you're going to make sure you got the right people there. Maybe your people are waiting for you when you arrive, right? To hook you up and get your stuff loaded in. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's a 2-person on that C2, maybe 6 or 8 of your folks are sitting there waiting at the location, so that when it's time to load up, they hook you up and you get out.
Yeah. To go off of what Griff said, though, I think that's very telling. Like, maybe one of these boxes is $50,000 right now. Like, people are trying to, you load up, you instantly load up, you go, you drop off, you make whatever you can make, and you're trying to make like 100,000 like a night, or maybe more, depending on how many if you're like doing 2 C2s at the same time or whatever. But like for here, it could be like like a regular 18-wheeler. You're just doing one trip and you're doing your stops and all that, and you made your money for the day. So I think it's going to be like what you're carrying here is going to be very valuable, and that's why you're going to have multiple people on this. But it's going to take you a lot of time to do it. So I think Pilvarati, I know you've been trying to say something. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to tap you on the shoulder there.
Coincidentally, in some cases, it may not slow down things at all. The reason why I say that is because depending on the ship and depending on the item that you want to buy, there are some items that you have to wait 10 minutes for it to refresh to reload your ship, right? So that is some non-value added time that we have right now. So when we get physicalized cargo, the activity that we'll be spending to load those things, just like how we were doing at Jumptown, right? if the refresh time was healthy enough, for us to move that cargo, by the time we went back to that container thing, it was already there because it took us time to move it. So it may not actually slow things down in some cases. In others, it may. But that activity that we'll need to do, that will actually kind of make us think, okay, I'm back at here to make my next reservation. That cargo is already there waiting for me. So it depends. And also for the Mule, real quick, I'm not sure how many of you remember CitizenCon 2016. There are some places ships can't fly. The Mule will be a great place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to bring in the hulls. They're going to come in really big in terms of loading and unloading. And like you'd rather have a hull A than maybe a Cutlass Black even, or whatever, like say a Freelancer Max. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, and perhaps this new vehicle here, the Mule, maybe you can. I don't think they can move the box up and down, but maybe you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, they say it will not be. You'll not be able to use the Mule to stack.
Stack, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay. I use the 2-hand tractor beam to lift the Mule up and then stack it that way.
Okay.
All right. So let's get back to this Q&A. Just go through it real quick. To talk about the driver's seat sealed. It said yes, it's fully sealed. Can you wear heavy armor suit? It says the Mule fall in line with other vehicles, so either restricted access or impaired use based on the armor worn. How well armored the Mule is? The Mule is not well armored and not designed to be used in combat environment. What ship will this fit in? That's a big question everybody has. So the Great Mule should fit inside any ship, any vehicle the Great Cat Rock fits in.
And the 400i.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you ruin a 400i?
Oh, it's so nice in there. It's like it was made for that ship.
And there are some people who are not, and there are some people who aren't made for that ship, if you know what I mean.
My wallet paid for it though. I'm gonna put rims on it and 12s in the back and beat down your block.
Moving on. How maneuverable and fast is it compared to the other ground vehicles? It said this is our first skid steer vehicle that can rotate on a spot like a forklift and aid maneuverability. Compared to other ground vehicles, it is on the slower end of scale and it's not built for speed or racing. That won't stop people. If people gonna race with it, I can see it now. How capable is it off-road? The Mule is capable of going off-road, but it's not designed with significant ground clearance, so it might get stuck, basically. It's a vehicle equipped with a rear-view mirror. So all vehicles equipped in game has a rear-view camera. However, this is bound by default. Players can enable it from the options menu. Is the SU box fed and dispensed? I didn't. The SU box fed and dispensed into the back of the vehicle via automated process. The mechanism at the rear is automated in terms of moving the cargo in and out of the vehicle. We saw the animation on the previous page. Now, some mission boxes and cargoes are unstable or explosive. Can the Mule chassis compensate for vibration? So as mission boxes are physically attached to the vehicle, it does dampen it somewhat, but direct hit to the cargo, either from projectiles or roll of a collision, will still be a cause for concern. Can the 6 mission boxes be loaded manually? Yeah, that's what I read earlier. So when they talk about snapping the play. The mission boxes class as cargo grids that's fixing the boxes in place. They say once attached to the side saddle, the boxes are locked in place and will not be thrown during transit. Can the front SU mount be moved up to climb steep ramp without touching down? The front SU mount raises a little when attached, but does not raise up like a traditional forklift. Can the front SU holder lift the crates high enough to stack 2, 3 over it? Oh, that's what the question y'all were talking about. Say no. Can the Mule be spawned inside hangars we land in so we can land and unload cargo faster in landing zone? Once we get positioned in hangars and upgrade the cargo system working, we like to get players various ways to load and unload and dock their landed or docked ships. Does the Mule offer personal inventory space or weapon rack? Yes, the Mule has both. This is almost done. Do the Mule forklift lift from the bottom, clamp from the side, or the simply magnetic? The clamps are from the side, the cargo is placed kept in place with magnet. How adjustable is the throttle when handling delicate loading from the front? The throttle is not adjustable, but the overall acceleration is low enough to allow delicate loading. Does the Mule have a backup beeper sound? No, not at the moment. You got to put that in CIG. That's my main complaint.
It has a light. It does have a blinking light.
Yeah, but what good is that if you don't hear it coming at you if you're not looking at it, or you have in some kind of environment where there's no sound? There's
no OSHA in the UEE.
In the front of the Mule if it's carrying the cargo boxes. And the boxes raise up slightly, the lights go around and under it. So yeah, back to the beeping. What were you saying, Gomap?
There's no OSHA in the UEE.
Okay.
It's a safety, you know what I'm saying? So the beeping is a safety for, it's supposed to be for like to protect workers that work around, these commercial vehicles all the time, so they don't get run over at the job site.
Right.
UE or they don't care about that now.
Yeah, especially Hurston or Corp. No.
Yeah, safety is a detriment to productivity. So.
So what you gotta do is you gotta be aware of your situational awareness. Be aware of what's around you.
Or when you wake up in that respawn bed, you'll have learned an important lesson.
Yeah, it does look like it has like a little strobe light on top of it. I've seen a couple pictures where it's like illuminated. I haven't seen it actually on anyone's vehicle, like turned on, but it looks like it is there. I would prefer a little like a light that spins, because it's more like
like the forklift in the Alien.
Yeah, I'd rather have a spinning thing, the old 80s style or whatnot. But it's like right above the top right of the cab, like towards the back of the glass. You have a different picture.
All right. So up next we have the Anvil Q&A. So I'll go through this real quick. What conditions must be met for Legionnaire to dock? The conditions are the same as current ship-to-ship docking featured on Constellation and Merlin. So, yeah. What happened to target quantum jump while the Legionnaire is docked? The Legionnaire will quantum with it, which is the same as any other ship to dock to another one. What is the planned range of the Legionnaire's hacking capability? They're still yet to be determined, but it'll be relatively close, a few kilometers, not dozens or hundreds. How can player counter the Legionnaire's hacking ability? The hacking mechanic is intended to have gameplay for both sides, hacking and counter-hacking, and instances with no player persistent, attempting to board an NPC ship or non-Legionnaire scenarios. The role is performed by an AI. I thought AI was illegal. Anyway, what can be hacked on the target vessel? The Legionnaire systems are dedicated to the specific and vector task of overriding and overcoming the docking and air traffic control system of the target ship. What about hangars and landing pad size the Legionnaire use? It says access hangar pad, which is the same classification of a single-seater from the aero to the prospector. Can the Legionnaire be also used against ships that do not have an airlock, such as the Crusader Hercules? At this point in time, we only committed to be able to boost dedicated airlock point entry, so no. Will the docking port tunnel and the Legionnaire provide any cover for the boarding team? The deployable covers are built into the tunnel to help boarding team make it to the target. Halfway there, does the Legionnaire have crew facilities? And the answer is no. What equipment can be transported for the boarding team? There's space on board to store heavy and specialized weapons and heavy armor, and we're working with the gameplay pillar to ensure that heavy armor cannot be worn in the seats. So you won't be able to wear heavy armor in the seats, but you can carry stuff like that onto the ship. Does the Legionnaire have any measure to disguise itself from early detection? No. The hacking boarding mechanics, you don't like that, Gomab?
Oh, if it has no way to kind of sneak up, so that basically limits some of the usefulness. I mean, so what it does is it frames its use case where you're not about to be hot dropping a platoon or your fighters onto an Idris or any other ship that is in the middle of a hot battle zone unless it's been disabled. Like shields are down, power's out. So, you got somebody's got to disable that ship before you're able to forcefully board it and then take control over it. Because if you can't sneak up on it, then you're a sitting duck.
Yeah. But I mean, risk versus reward, right? You gotta plan ahead. Are the hacking boarding mechanics unique to Legionnaire, or will they be available to other electronic warfare platforms? The combination of hacking and boarding is part of Legionnaire's default setup behavior. So while other ships may be able to get the hacking ability, it would cause the other of the blade-controlled electronic warfare role, where the Legionnaire has it built in. So I guess that's a no for now, or maybe in the future. How maneuverable will the Legionnaire? What?
Now, the one cool thing that you did mention is that it'll quantum if it's attached. So you never have to waste the space on the Liberator or any other carrier. Just have this thing jacked on to the docking port, and off the pyro you go with it. You could just have a leech ship.
Like a mosquito.
Yep.
And that way you could prevent other people from boarding you because you already got a Legionnaire in the way.
See, that's that big brain right there, Fast Card. That's that big brain right there.
I don't think you ever said that to me before. I'm touched. Thank you very much.
I did not touch you. I would like for the.
Oh my god.
He's touched already.
How maneuverable will the Legionnaire be compared to the Cutlass, Steel, Prowler, Vanguard, Hoplite, and Valkyrie? Its maneuverability. It'll be closest to the Steel, but as the ship progress during development, will adjust necessary to reflect a heavier armor. How heavy is the armor compared to other ships, considering it might take hits from larger vessels as a boarding ship? It is designed to take significant fire on approach, so it's relatively heavily armored compared to the other dropships, as much closer to the Anvil ship, such as the Terrapin. Who controls the turret and shield while the Legionnaire is in fight and dock? The co-pilot is control of one turret as well as the hacking system. The pilot has the other turret slaved to its view, and both can manage the shield. Will the boarding mechanic be possible with an NPC crew, or do we need role players? NPC co-pilot will be able to do the role if no human is present, as this is required for the county hacking gameplay on NPC systems regardless. Will it get specialized bounty seats or cells for holding captured enemies? No, there's no functionality of the type on board the Legionnaire. So anything else stick out with people for that Q&A for the Legionnaire? No? All right.
It's a one-trick pony. It's a really cool damn trick. Now, what I'm starting to realize is that this is going to be the only ship that's going to be able to dock directly with on other ships for a very long time, other than the Connie and the Merlin. But it's not like I can pull up to your freelancer with my Cuddy Black. I take that back. I would never fly Cuddy Black, or with my like Constellation or 400i. You know what I'm saying? And us kind of dock together. So,
You feel disappointed that it's going to fly like the Steel?
Oh, but the Steel is the best ship in the game. I don't know.
Oh my god!
It is.
Don't start
it is
that.
the drop ship god. Don't ever talk bad about the Steel. It's the best thing that CIG has ever released.
One thing
everything about it is perfect.
What was that, Pops?
Oh, the one thing I didn't know was the counter hack. I thought that was pretty interesting. So you really have to have, two people really knowing what they're doing, and it's like a little, fight to get into the fight. That's really cool. They really thought that out. I thought that was nice.
They should have called it the Mosquito. That would have made more sense.
Okay.
All right, so that was the Legionnaire Q&A. Up next we have. Oh yeah, this is from we have a Griffin pointed this out to me. So the road to 4.0 release schedule. They just wanted to double check. This is from Fiore, the original poster. He wanted to double check the date based on the information through Spectrum and other videos. So it's the end of June, quarter 2 patch 3.17.2 live hit servers, simultaneously 318 EVO PTU in a 2-3 month cycle. Quarter 3 patch is 318 live. Quarter 4 patch is 319 live. And 4.0 EVO begins this quarter long cycle, may slip into quarter 1. And quarter 1 patch is 4.0 live. And then Jake Capella says, no, that is the current plan that is highly dependent on the success of the 318 PT, of course. So, any thoughts? Griffin, you're the one who posted this.
Yeah, nothing. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just a confirmation of what we have to look forward to each quarter. That's basically it. Some people were a little confused about the timeline, so I just put it there so that people will know what CIG is projecting right now.
Thank you. What was that?
Go ahead.
I was just saying I didn't know they were gonna have 4.0 have its own quarterly cycle.
You over there, go map?
I have a little doubt that 3.17.2 is going to actually go live by the end of June. I figured it'll be in PTU before the end of June, and probably mid-July is when it'll go live.
Dark Knight says, but you promised quarter 1. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of that going around when the time comes along, I'm sure. But yeah, that's the current schedule as it is for now. So, will it stay? Will it last? We'll see.
I've said my piece on that whole thing already about the dates.
Yeah.
Sometime in the future, we're going to do this. And then after that, we'll do this. And then when that's done, we'll do this.
That's That's basically what they said. There's something out, dates.
What dates on it?
I mean, what you really feel about the Ion?
Second best ship in the game.
Update. Galactapedia update for May 2022. Go, man. You want to take this?
They added a whole lot of information about a whole lot of new systems. A lot of them. And I started looking at the list of them, and I didn't even finish reading the list of them. I was like, man, there's a lot of systems. All right. It started making me a little bit hopeful that, maybe a lot of these systems are actually getting some work done on them. Or who knows, maybe a lot of them are already really close to completion, and it's just a matter of, enhancing the back-end server tech to be able to support them in the game. A brother can only dream.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of articles, like you said. So go ahead and go to the link that Chris Nagy posted in YouTube chat. Someone said something?
I was just saying, at least they're pushing out into new areas, so, as they develop the lore and they're pushing out to new planets and new moons, they're setting in stone, what's supposed to be in that system and how that system is going to be eventually developed. So even if it's, not on somebody's, design board, and at least they know what they're looking to do when they finally get the chance to design it as a system. So I think that's really cool.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's the Galactapedia update. So the whole all I said, like they say. Up next, we have a short jump point now. Jump point now available for subscribers. This was earlier this week or late last week. So yeah, if anyone has a jump point subscription, they can get their hands on this. So the May issue of Jump Point is now available for the subscription area. This month features the development of the brand new Anvil Legionnaire, boarding craft, the histories of Invictus launch week, and in and out of the lore of the Galactapedia entries of the same Midas Plus. So if you're not a subscriber, you can become a subscriber by clicking that link. And the link that hopefully Chris and I can post it. Yes, he did. So yeah, click on that link if you want to know more information. Yeah, so I think we got a good 45 minutes to go. So I think we started on the Inside Star Citizen for now, and we're gonna watch the whole thing, no break. So yeah, let's hit the Inside Star Citizen.
Hey everybody, the upcoming 3.17.2 patch looks to bring with it a variety of new gameplay opportunities, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements. And one of the ways it aims to do that is to include important evolutions of mission systems you may already be familiar with. On this week's show, we're looking at 2 important expansions, beginning with the addition of delivery missions specific to those unafraid of breaking the law.
Currently in Star Citizen, we have our delivery missions that everyone knows. They're only for legal, law-abiding citizens. We have no missions for someone who's on the wrong side of the law, someone who lives out of Grim Hex. And in 3.17.2, we will rectify that by adding our illegal delivery missions. The illegal delivery missions in 3.17.2 are going to function somewhat similarly to the legal ones, but they get run through a different organization. You will be running them through Redwind. You will have to build up your reputations with them. They will test your trust. They will see that you're reliable by doing fairly legal things at the beginning, and eventually they will give you one of these missions where you have to do something a bit dodgy. And based on how you do that thing, they will either open this career path for you or not. There will be some risks involved. You will have to visit some really nefarious locations, some drug labs, some stashes where generally they're not populated by your lawful citizens. So you might encounter some people doing similar missions that are not very favorable to other people doing them. You might bump into them, you might have to end up in a fight, or maybe you join up on other adventures. The other more fixed risk factor is the chance of getting interdicted a lot more. So you will have to make sure when you get interdicted, you pretty much have to run for it. If they find the drugs on you or whatever illegal things you're moving, that will end up in you going to prison or in a fight or having to run for your life. And obviously with the additional risk, there will come additional rewards that the legal side of the career delivery missions will not give you. Looking ahead, we're also looking to add different sizes of parcels to delivers, including small handheld items that the player can stash in their inventory and all kind of other items that whatever you can think of. This is open-ended. We'll find cool things to add in there, different objects, different type of penalties if you get caught with them. We'll make it fun. Obviously, this is not the end of delivery missions. We will keep exploring and finding new things to add. We'll be making stuff interesting for everyone who is in this line of work in the universe. Whether they are on the legal or illegal side of things, we'll find something cool for them to move from point A to point B.
These new missions from Redwind are only the first in a new initiative to add more gameplay opportunities to those who want to play outside of proper society's rules and look to make their debut in the upcoming Alpha 3.17.2. But up next, here's a phrase you may not have heard around here in some time. Service beacons, specifically combat assist service beacons. They've been due an upgrade for some time and they're about to get their next one. Let's find out more.
With the current state of the combat service beacons, we like that it's content for players to go out and shoot a ship gun at something. Like, it's combat, and that's fun and engaging and interesting. We like the concept, but not its current execution.
Service beacons are ways that players and NPCs can request assistance from the player or create missions for the players.
We don't like that there's not a whole lot of variety in them. You generally are fighting kind of the same ships.
I'd say one of the biggest problems is that there's no frame of reference to the player in terms of like what they're getting themselves into before they go. So the only indicator that the player has as to how difficult or challenging the mission's going to be is what the mission's paying. So the more that it pays, the more difficult the mission will be. And if as a new player you don't know that or know that scale, you don't have any concept of what you're getting yourself into.
What we are going to be doing is basically making it so that there are now 10 levels of difficulty for these combat service assist beacons. And when you go to accept them in your contract broker, you will be able to actually see that you are accepting anywhere from 1 to 10, depending on your reputation with the organization running these service assist beacons. In this particular case, difficulty 1 might be something as easy as go save this little, relatively undamaged ship from an Aurora or something. Pretty easy, pretty starter, something that you should be able to handle. As you do more of them and rank up, you will unlock higher and rarer variants, up to difficulty 10, which should be something on the lines of like, oh, there is a relatively damaged ship being attacked by either a small group or an Idris or something quite threatening. And that mission should basically mean that when you are accepting it, you immediately say to your friends, everybody hop in, we're going to go and handle this together. That to us is kind of the key goal, is that those upper difficulties start getting people doing these together as a group and making the game feel more multiplayer, even in these simpler, smaller missions. We're pretty excited for this update. It has been a long time coming. We're hoping that it will make this piece of content considerably more engaging, something that players can have a bit more fun with and will want to engage with more. And it has served us quite ably as a method for ramping up a new designer so that we can start producing more and more content for you in the future. We are currently aiming for a release with 3.17.2.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that there will be more non-combat opportunities for aspiring criminals when illegal delivery missions come online. That the combat assist service beacons are getting a multi-stage glow-up that'll make it easier for players to prepare for what's ahead. And that you can call the 8th the 7th, but we all really know what's up. I guess technically we learned that last week. Now, don't forget that First Contact Day and International Bar Citizen Weekend are both upon us. Check out the RSI website for details. And then after that, it's Alien Week. Yeah, we're in the can't stop, won't stop corridor now. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Here are a few more shots of the currently under construction 7th floor of the Manchester Goods Yard building, future home of CIG UK. And we'll see you all here next week from the 8th, which is actually the 9th stories up. Don't cut me off. You're still here. Go.
That was a nice touch at the end.
Was he kneeling down?
Was
he kneeling down, or was he that?
I think he was on a slightly lower floor, like right in that room there. I was wondering myself, like.
Let's go back and take a look. Yeah, I think the floor is slightly lower. Maybe the floor isn't complete.
Is that Tyrion Lannister right there? What the hell?
Wow.
Anyway, let's go in order. Kusanagi, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was wicked cool. I definitely like the missions that they were talking about, like the tiers 1 through 10. I think that would help out a lot in terms of getting more people play the game, to actually and when I say that I mean like as a group, and to actually allow people who are new to the game and just want to do it organically as with one person and kind of see how far they can get. Because I think we all know somebody here who likes to take his Aurora and tries to see exactly how far he can actually, how much he can make with it and how much he can fight with it. So with Scavenger there, and so I imagine he's gonna enjoy that quite a bit. So yeah, but the rest of it was pretty cool, and I think the drug will help everybody else out.
Yeah, Kai she said in the chat there was a Ferris Bueller Days Off reference. I had a DM from someone earlier saying the same thing. Citizen Shenanigans said the floor is built up so that they can run plumbing and other things like that, he thinks. So yeah, that's the floating floor for cabling. That's what that is. For construction. All right,
a raised
face-to-face.
floor.
Face to face, what are your thoughts, please?
I'm excited for both the criminal side to see how, that plays out, with some of those missions. I've always been kind of curious and everything. I'm really excited to see about this group gameplay with these service beacons, I'm hoping that the payout will be really enticing, you know, sort of way that, players will not just, just go out and say, okay, let's group up, let's go out there and fight the Idris or whatever. But if the pay is not, it becomes meh to do, so the pay's got to be up there as well, hopefully. But that's my take.
Thank you. Thank you. Griffin, I actually get to go to you for once. What are your thoughts?
Nothing. It's all good.
And this is why we don't go to Griffin. Kaladi, what are your thoughts?
All right, so yeah, I'm glad that they're putting in some more work with the combat assistance beacons. It's nice to see that it's becoming a legitimate kind of ladder kind of thing. So I didn't expect that actually. I didn't think about it, but I didn't expect it either, even as a possibility. So it's nice to see that kind of attention. With regard to the criminal side of things, it's nice to see that that kind of attention is being given to, also because eventually, there won't be a quote unquote good and quote unquote bad side anymore. It'll depend on what faction that you want to go with and start with, wholeheartedly. So getting some more work done for in our case, criminal missions, because we're part of the UEE. It's nice to see that they're putting more attention to that too, so that players who just want to jump onto that other side or another faction can actually start straight with that and have a really good time, as opposed to having to be on the good side for some time. So yeah.
Cotton Face, what are your thoughts?
I did not know that a hammerhead could take a face-on shot from a railgun.
Right?
I was like, okay, when did that come around? But okay. And I really dug the which I did DM you about the Ferris Bueller reference. I thought that was pretty cool.
Go Mav, what are your thoughts?
I hope those pirate ox missions pay a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, they better be like,
especially stage 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stage 10. I mean, like everything up to stage 10, I guess would be what the biggest thing would be like a hammerhead, and so, but it's a pirate mission. Well, those are service beacons. That's different. I don't think they'll have stage 10 on service on pirate missions, but as far as the pirate delivery missions and stuff that they're talking about doing, like the legal ones, if you're gonna risk it for the biscuit and have all the, the try hard bounty hunters on the server coming after you, it better be good for a good payday, right? Right now, the criminal side doesn't really pay that much, so only the people that like to do it, it's like they just like to live on the wild side, but it's not like it's a very lucrative path in comparison to the legal path. So hopefully they close that gap considerably and actually make it a lot more lucrative, so that you gotta really make those hard life choices like we have to do every day. Do I stay straight legal and corporate, or do I take it to the streets?
Gotta earn that money. All I gotta say is mission grind is on the way in. How many hours you're gonna be spending going from stage 1 to stage 9, and then try to find people for that last stage to do stage 10. That's gonna be interesting. So should be fun though. I'm looking forward to more PvE content, but I think this will be a way to combine PvP and PvE. So we'll have to see. But I mean, yeah, like Pop said, they're taking that railgun to the face. We'll see if that lasts. I'm not sure that's gonna make it until like when the game goes live. So we'll see. We see how long that lasts. But interesting. All right. So yeah, I think that's it for Inside Star Citizen. It's a good episode. I enjoyed it. So up next we have the Machinima. And this one is brought to you by Liquid Wayne or TV Liquid. He sent out a nice tweet to shouting us out. He shouted out RSI and a whole bunch of people like Astropub, Informer, Space Tomato, and he shouted out Soul Citizen. So I want to thank you, send a shout out back to Liquid Wayne for doing that. And he said, "This is welcome to Star Citizen." So here we go. And we're back. Oh, I forgot to mute the video real quick. Let me do that real quick. So let's start in the middle and go to the let's see. Okay, Griffin, what did you thought?
You give me last.
Say it again.
Can you get me last?
Can I get you live?
Last.
Last.
Go last.
Oh, get you last. Oh, last. Oh, okay, sure. Let's go in reverse order then. Face to face. What are your thoughts?
It's not reverse order.
Mm.
But it's okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just messing with you. No, it was a good video, great shots, great music, you know. Kind of reminiscence of the what is that video? The old one that was shown of Star Citizen back in the day, where it was kind of like you know, had those shots of it and everything like that, the scenic shots and showing you what you could do into the game. I forget the name of it, but no, it's very good, excuse me, very good video.
All right, I'm a Kusanagi.
My turn. I thought it was great. There was a couple of things that, like, one thing that surprised me was that, like, the Cutlass Black was coming at the viewer, and it was like he just kind of like sped up the video, but you actually saw the spinning of the planet behind him, and I thought that was so cool. And I also like there was a part when, if you listen in the background, it sounded like an old movie wheel, like a movie wheel, like kind of spinning, or like I should say the movie strip, like going through the projector. And I thought that was like really cool to have like a sound like that, like kind of in the background a bit. And it was just a very, very cool. I love the sound. I like the sound a lot, and the way he did it. Some of these scenes were really fantastic. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right, thank you. Hot and Face, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, like Admiral said, I love the sounds. I love the the pace. I love the shots. I really like that shot where I forget the name of the vehicle, but it's jumping in the air.
Tumble,
like no, that's not it. But where it's jumping and it's almost heading toward the lake, make me wonder if he made it down safely or not. But I dug the music, really liked it, and yeah, it made me feel good. It was a feel good piece.
Yeah, that vehicle really got some hang time.
Mm-hmm.
Kalvati, what are your thoughts?
Really nice capture of the environments, especially Lorville, especially Hurston with those clouds. Loved it. You know, it synced in well with the music. It was very tranquil. You know, they did a really good job, especially with, you know, that the zooming into to Port Olisar. So it's always nostalgic to see Port Olisar in some of these music videos. And yeah, overall, I think it was a really, really good job. Helps to capture the environments of the game. So I think it was really nice that he actually, you know, went to different places here and demonstrated, you know, these are some of the environments and these are some of the elements that actually make the game what it is, especially the environment part.
Thank you. Yeah, I really like the music. I had the video on repeat for a while just to hear the music over and over again. Griffin, you want to be after go, Mab, or can you go now?
No, I'll go now. No, just
Okay.
it was again just one of those updated. Every once in a while, we watch a newer version, an updated version of what the state of the game is, and that was one of the main reasons why this shot here with the asteroid breaking, I thought was really cool. And just watching how things have been progressing. So, just wanted to give that shout out. Also,
the Bengal.
Yeah, the Bengal's pretty cool too. Yeah, definitely want to give the shout out to oh god, I'm drawing a blank here.
Liquid Wayne.
Liquid Wayne, yeah, Liquid Wayne did a great job on this, and I just thought he threw it at us and said thanks for. I guess we've inspired from him watching other videos that we've done that Paul Shelley and other people have shown, and so we wanted to highlight him today because this just came out a couple days ago, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I made a mistake before. I said TV Liquid. This is Liquid Wayne, so sorry about that, Liquid Wayne. Go Map. How about you?
I think it was very nice of him to share with us his love letter to Chris Roberts. No, it's it was really nicely done. You know, like I said, it's a good snapshot of how just breathtaking this game could be. He could have just done the Pisces flying out of the Carrack and flying away. Like he could have done that like 5-10 more times, and I would have really loved it, because that's just, to me, every time that I do that, it's kind of like, I can't believe I can do this, right? I was in a ship, then I got into another ship in the ship, and then I flew away from the ship in my ship. Like,
Go mad. If he tried doing that a second time, he wouldn't be able to find back his character.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, he lost that character forever. But no, it's very well done. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so shout out to Liquid Wayne for shouting us out and making a cool video. So thank you, Liquid Wayne.
Yeah. Thank you, Liquid Wayne, for sharing us your love.
I just think this is like the type of video that gets people like into the game. I mean, we've seen a lot of machinima here. A lot of it's very cool because we play the game. It's like, oh, wow, imagine them doing that here, because we've all been there. But to see a new player seeing this, or someone just who plays Eve or Star Wars: The Old Republic or whatever, that like this is like just like what? It's so beautiful. It just really like gets it. I think it draws you in. It's peacefully. It brings you that awe, inspiration type feeling, I think, and it's just. This is what would, if I didn't play this game right now, this probably would do it for me.
Yeah, I'll channel my inner troll on Reddit, and like, how much did they pay you to shill this game that is clearly a scam? None of that stuff you just showed works. It's all pre-rendered, like marketing material. That's just fake. Gosh, I wish people would stop having fun.
Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Now you messed me up. I'm gonna say something nice about the video. No, it's a great. One thing I do like about this video is that it's all in game. Everything that happened, you can see and do now, as opposed to like some people still crafting. I'm not saying still crafting is bad, but this is everything that you can show to a new player, and the new player can get into the game and see stuff like this in the game right now. So I think that's cool. All right. So up next we have Bar Citizen Talk. So we had a Bar Citizen on last Saturday and had a great time. I posted the tweet that I tweeted with all the pictures on it. If you give me a moment, I can pull the pictures on the screen real quick. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that showed up, and I want to thank everyone for showing up and having a great time. So thank everybody for coming to the virtual Bar Citizen. People won prizes. We had a great trivia thanks to New Soul, and the CIG people stayed about and talked with us. So it was a great turnout. So thank you. Also, I want to talk about the upcoming Bar Citizen. That's on Saturday in Chicago. The Soul Citizen is sponsoring. So yeah, you can register there at the Eventbrite website. Hopefully, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, the Chicago Bar Citizen. What is it? 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Local time. Griffin, you have anything more to say about that, or is that basically it?
No, we're looking forward to seeing folks in the Chicagoland area or from the Midwest who come in for it. We're looking forward. You guys will get to meet several of the folks from the Soul Citizens team. We do have people who've already registered for it. We've been using both Eventbrite and Meetup and something else I got it on. So we're looking forward to seeing people here. It's also on the Bar Citizen Midwest page as well. So if you're tied into that, you can find the registration information there. But yeah, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. Chicago time. So look forward to seeing you guys then.
When you say Wicker Park, is that how you say that?
Yeah, that's one of the areas of the city. Yeah.
Wicker Park.
Wicker Park.
Wicker.
Anyway.
Well, it's the Bostonian in me is like, how do I? Yeah, the way you're supposed to say that.
I hear you trying. So up next we have.
Oh, can I just say one thing? If that's okay.
Go ahead.
with Griffin. I just wanted to say this is really basically my first year of seeing a taste of Bar Citizens. And one of the things I just really enjoy is the camaraderie between the people. But you do get, when you meet the devs, you do see, you get to meet them personally, and you get to experience their passion for the game. And I mean, these guys are very passionate about the game, and that energy just kind of flows throughout. And I just wanted to share that. If there's anybody out there that hasn't been to one, please stop one. If you can't come in, but for 15 minutes, stop in for 15 minutes, and you'll really, you'll see. Hopefully longer than 15, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, thanks, Pops.
Yeah, hopefully you'll last longer than a black guy typically lasts in a horror movie.
Oh,
okay.
In a world, he's already dead. Damn. Like he died in the trailer, didn't he?
Up next, we have Soul Voices on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So note the new time. No longer 1 p.m. It's 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's where we talk about what's going on in the community, but we take news from Reddit, Spectrum, and what's going on in the gaming industry. Go, Matt. You want to talk about Sunday's show?
Sunday show. Where is it at? What's Sunday? Sunday show is Soul Citizens at what, 7?
8 p.m.
Central? Yeah, 8 p.m. Central, 7 Central. I had it backwards. I do not have thing up here.
I sprung the phone him. I apologize.
Yeah, you got me.
It's basically content.
Just come and see the show. It'll be great. You'll have a great time. I swear. I promise.
And we have a special guest, Dr. Murray, on Sunday, so that'll be fun. Typically when we have him on. So yeah, the concept to reality. As you can see on the picture there, we have their Van Duel and various ships in there. So yeah, it should be a fun show. Talk about how ships could go from concept to how they appear in game finally. So yeah, it should be fun. And also,
and look
Thursday,
at that Carrick in that picture. Oh my goodness!
And also Thursday, as always, is Soul Talk. We're at our current time. I don't want to say new time anymore, but we're 9 p.m. Eastern and 1 a.m. UTC on Friday. And this show here again. So come check us out live if you can. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We have Amma Kusanagi. We have Face to Face, Griffin Gaming RPG. Hey, Colorado, Cotton Face, and my co-host today, Gomab ATL. I want to say thank you all for coming. It's been fun. If you want to support us, you can become a Soul Bro, Soul Sis, or Soul Mate. Check out the join button below for that on YouTube. And also, if you want to, we're on social media, Soul Citizens everywhere for the S on the end. We have merchandise, we have t-shirts, gamepad, mouse, pad, so they're the same thing, my bad, caps, what have you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to show your appreciation and help us with the algorithm, and we appreciate that. And I think that's it for us, so I appreciate everybody coming in and saying hi and stopping by and having a great conversation in chat. So we're probably going to talk a bit and after Soul Citizen, or Soul Talk after that. So if you want to come to Discord for that, come on in. So thank you. Again, that's it. So thank everybody for coming. Peace, love, and soul. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care, people.
Take care.
Griffin's going to give away a good ship one day.
Oh, you got to say something at the end.